Hi guys, this is Mrs. Drew, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial over the quiz that you took last Friday. And as soon as you are done with this tutorial, you can take the quiz retake in Google Classroom. It won't be the exact same quiz, but it will be very similar. This quiz was really wordy, so I'm going to help you get through the questions and know exactly what you're looking for. So we're going to start with number 5. It said, a student observes 2 strips of magnesium ribbon that are each 3 centimeters long. One strip of magnesium is placed in a test tube containing 5 ml of water. The other is placed in a test tube containing 5 ml of hydrochloric acid. Both liquids are at room temperature. The student's observations are recorded in the table. Which statement is not supported by the student's observations? So as I look at my answer choices, I am looking for the lie. What's not supported? So test tube 1, no observable activity. The temperature of the water remains constant. A lit match placed near the mouth of the test tube continues to burn. The appearance of the metal does not change. I am not seeing any evidence here of a chemical change, so I'm going to write physical over here. Test tube 2, bubbling occurs on the surface of the magnesium. The temperature of the liquid increases. A lit match placed near the mouth of the test tube makes a popping sound and goes out. The metal strip gradually becomes smaller until nothing is left except for a clear liquid. I am seeing more than one evidence of a chemical change here. Bubbling, that's gas. Temperature is a temperature change. So do you remember city girls like their phones? I've got gas. I've got temperature change. So this is chemical. So my choices are, a chemical reaction takes place between magnesium and hydrochloric acid. This is my hydrochloric acid one. That is happening, so that means it's not the lie. A gas is released in test tube 2. Bubbling. Yes, a gas is released, so that's not the lie. The substances in both test tubes are reactive only at high temperatures. So it told me that they put these tubes in at room temperature. So I have not even tested if anything is at a high temperature. I think this might be my lie, but I'm going to go ahead and read the last choice. Energy is released in the reaction involving hydrochloric acid. Remember, if energy is released, that means temperature change. So did I have a temperature change? Yes. So this is not the lie either. The answer is C. The substances in both test tubes are reactive only at high temperatures. That's the lie because I only tested them at room temperature. That was really wordy. Y'all got it. Good job. Number 6 said, nitrogen dioxide is a gas that can be generated by emissions from vehicles and factories. It can also be generated by natural sources, such as forest fires, lightning, and microbial activity in the soil. The equation for producing nitrogen dioxide is shown in the figure. Which statement below correctly describes the equation? I need to find which statement is true about this equation. True. So my first choice says the equation is balanced because a gas is present. I need to know if this is balanced, so I have to count atoms. I have N and O with a 2 coefficient. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. And then I have 2 more oxygens over here. So I'm going to add these ones together to get 4. Then I'm going to look at this side. I have N and O again. 2 times 1 for N is 2. 2 times 2 for O is 4. So I have 2 N's on both sides. I have 4 O's on both sides. So this is balanced. Okay, my first choice says it's balanced because a gas is present. Well, it's balanced, but not because a gas is present. Choice 2 says the equation is balanced because the number of nitrogen and oxygen atoms is the same on both sides of the equation. Well, that's exactly what I just found out. So yes, this is my correct answer. The next 2 options say not balanced and not balanced, but I did the work I know it's balanced, so it has to be one of these two. We know that the number of atoms is what I counted. Okay. Number 8. A scientist spilled a few drops of dilute hydrochloric acid on a lab table. For safety purposes, the scientist sprinkled some baking soda onto the spill. Which observation would provide the best evidence that a chemical reaction occurred? I'm looking for a chemical reaction. My evidence is CGLTP. I'm looking for any of those. The baking soda and hydrochloric acid combined and bubbles formed. Maybe that one, because that's making a gas. The baking soda absorbed the hydrochloric acid. That doesn't have any of these 5 evidences. Some of the baking soda dissolved. Remember, dissolved is a key word that tells you physical change. So that's not going to be a chemical reaction. The hydrochloric acid evaporated, leaving only the baking soda. Evaporation is also a sign of a physical change, and it does not contain color change, gas, light, temperature change, or precipitate. So it has to be A. Bubbles forming is a chemical reaction. Last, we're going to talk about number 9. Some students in the chemistry lab conducted an investigation in which they added 4 different solid substances to separate beakers of water. They stirred the substances for 1 minute, then recorded their observations in the table below. Which substance most likely caused a new substance to be formed when mixed with water? If a new substance is formed, I am looking for a chemical reaction. So I just have to look on my table and decide which substance has evidence of a chemical reaction. 1, the substance dissolved. Dissolving is physical. 2, the substance caused bubbles to be formed. That's a gas. I think this could be it. 3, the substance sank to the bottom. That just tells me that it moved. So that's physical. 4, the substance floated to the top. Again, that just tells me that it moved. So number 2 has to be my answer. It has gas, which is an evidence of a chemical change. So my answer is substance 2. Okay, I hope that helps. You should be a lot more ready to do a quiz retake. So go on over to that 8.5E quiz retake in Google Classroom.